Yo, what's up? Sorry, one
Alright.
sec. I'm just getting my webcam all situated.
Okay, you able to hear me?
I think your mic is muted also.
Yes, muted. Are you able to hear me now?
Yes. What's up? What's up? Happy birthday.
Okay, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Just been working all day and now I'm here.
Understood. So, I know you saw the passcode there. I put the passcode called Sky Chime, right?
Yeah, was it to like throw me off?
Well, here's the thing. Of course, there's a reason why I said Sky because Jack Sky Ramsey,
Yeah.
your artist name is Skybreak. But the reason why I said Chime is because not only did you work in his label Rushdown, which is owned by Harvey, owned by Chime,
Yeah.
the person that I'm bringing in now is someone who also was in Rushdown for the CEO of Chime.
Oh, okay. Okay. Interesting.
Welcome to the
Hey.
call, Paper Skies.
What's up,
Yeah.
bro?
What's up, Dan?
This is a surprise. What's good, dog?
Looks good. Did you know that it was gonna be me?
I didn't assume so because the meeting link said Sky Chime.
Yeah, same here.
I was just telling him the reason why I put the
That's
passcode.
jokes.
The reason why I put the passcode that way is because both of you released on Rushdown, which is owned by Chime.
Okay,
That was a
it's a good
sick
way to psych us both out since we both have Sky in our name too.
That
yeah,
as
legit.
well.
No,
That was also not intentional, but okay, it was a bit
It
intentional.
worked
I
out really well.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
was
just saw Harvey like 2 weeks ago, so I was mentally preparing to get in this call and be like, hey, what's up? He's like, hey, yo.
Yeah, I just talked to him yesterday, so I was like, dope. I guess I've hasn't been too long.
well. The reason I was torn between either doing something like that or typing in the word Trinite because we both had the collaboration together with Sharks. But I didn't want you to think. I thought it'd be way too easy of a clue because it's like, oh, it's between two people,
Yeah,
Paper Skies
yeah.
or Sharks.
That's funny. Well, dude, happy birthday, man.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you guys so much. It's an absolute honor to finally speak with you guys in this particular format because the last time I saw Skybreaker spoke to him like as an actual conversation was 3 years ago when we were in a coffee shop when he was debuting in NYC with Davin Between Broken. It was
Sick,
That's
dude.
right.
Rowan Silver, Skybreak, and Harvey, aka Chime. And
hmm
Paper Skies,
Yes.
well, where to begin with Paper Skies? We've been seeing each other like in and out, here and there, up and down, all around. And I had yet to send you my little Polaroid picture up there of me just laying on the ground during FormFest NYC.
Hell
But
yeah, bro.
apologies, I know someone took your wallet and that
Nah,
number was gone.
you're chilling, man. Don't worry.
You're sure you don't need the picture?
I mean, next time I see you, I'd be happy to get it, but it's not like necessary. I got the memories up here, bro. You're good.
Memories are
Understood.
insane.
But
God
maybe
damn, that's two wallets lost at shows now. That fucking sucks, bro.
Yeah, nah,
but
life, bro.
hey,
It's how it be.
understandably so, but at least the one thing I'll never lose or ever forget regarding you, Paper Skies, is definitely your business card. Still have that protected, still have that cherished. Never letting that out of my sight.
With all the expired links on it, bro. That's crazy.
So the reason why I really brought you guys together is because you guys have, of course, collaborated with each other here and there. You guys have been around the EDM color-based Twitterscape, well, Twitterscape and EDMscape. I'm just curious to know how did you guys meet or come together? Because I believe the first collaboration was all began with Comet.
That wasn't a
Mhm.
collaboration between us.
Oh,
That
sorry.
that was with Slyleaf, which is like a really dope vocalist. Shout out
Yeah.
Slyleaf. But
Mm-hmm.
No, she's the goat.
um, we just met like on Skype, dude. Like I think we were just like both in our Virtual Riot era, like as kids, like watching the Lunar live stream and like tutorials online and the studio time videos, and we connected. And I mean, we didn't like click right away, but I think just down the
Yeah.
road, we just kept talking and growing together as artists. Then it was like, yo, we should link up more. We should talk more, and we did.
Yeah. I think also, especially early in our friendship, there's like a what, like 1.5 to 2 year age gap, which obviously that mellows out a bunch after you turn 18, because whatever, we're
Yeah,
all
you're
adults.
chilling.
But like you were 14 and I was like 12. So I was
Yeah,
still
bro.
maturing a bunch of the time. So we were in this group chat called
Dude, those calls were fucking hilarious,
they
man.
were brain dead. No, it was just like this ADHD crazed individual. And yeah, it was this big group chat called Quest Records. Also, Control Freak was a part of that at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the goat. It's
But
Ultra, bro.
Nah, dude. There was some banger people in there. But yeah, we were all like 10 to 15 and we get in these calls and me and another member would just like scream at the top of our lungs into the crusty laptop mic and Dan was just like, "Bro, who are those people?" But a couple of years later when we mellowed out, we ended up existing in kind of I feel like both of our entire careers we've existed in very similar spaces just
Yeah.
coincidentally.
I mean,
Very
just music
similar.
wise, bro. Like we always like made like similar melodic stuff, so I just kind of like kept us in the same circles, you know?
Understood,
Yeah.
because if we look in the journey, the discography of both you guys had done some work in Rushdown, of course, with Harvey, aka Chime. You also had your fair share of the spotlight in Disciple, not only beginning with the We Don't Play Rushdown remix, which is absolutely freaking incredible. Absolutely, it blows me away the story of how that came to be. We talked about it before when I interviewed Skybreak, Chime, and Roman Silver about that. This
Yeah.
was an amazing feat, but then it led to, of course, Paper Skies being one of the winners of the Eliminate Walk Away remix contest, and Skybreak not only winning a few remixes themselves with the song like Parachute, with Oliver's that remix, but also having, I'm looking at them right now, those beautiful EPs are right behind you, Lumina, and of
Oh yeah,
course,
should I
Noon
readjust the camera?
It's a
Yeah.
big dog.
I high key like is this like a recorded interview? I'm still not sure. I'm like or is this just like a vibe? I can't tell. Okay, so we're in recorded interview mode. Cool. I did not clean my room for that at all.
Bro, I'm
I
in the
literally
same headspace,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
I just wanted to join the call for your birthday, bro, and be like,
Yeah,
yo,
same,
big dog,
dude.
happy
So
birthday.
yeah,
How
there's
you
like
been? Miss you.
I've been
You're
doing,
the goat.
I've,
shit
I've been
just
doing,
everywhere.
I've been
Yeah, we
doing
could
very,
talk it up.
I've been doing very well, but
I'm
at
down
the
with
same
it.
time, I kind of easily get into that mode set of like having these like questions ready sometimes because I'm a person. I was really curious to know how did you and Paper Skies do met together, hearing the story how how guys became really good friends in the EDM color based industry. And
Yeah.
speaking of which, I do have a few questions regarding that because color base is something I've been hearing a lot more thanks to Chime, thanks to Rushdown. I'm just curious to know how did that kind of come to be, or how did that even get birthed? Because it's something that I do love, it's something I really do enjoy, but I feel like there's more of a story to that because it's something I've been hearing like very recently. I think like around 2017, 2018, where I started like really spreading across the EDM internet.
I mean, really, the way that it started, I know Rushdown particularly was just like a record label that Harvey invented to put out music from his boys, like his friends, for a while. And eventually it morphed more into, a little bit more of like a subgenre culture. I think he threw a remix contest for Wait For Me, which is like still tune and a half. And
Mm-hmm.
Ace Aura, before he was like anyone, I think he was literally in high school or something. He just submitted this remix where he took like, whatever, some serum bases and chucked them through a resonator. And just like, nobody had ever thought to do that before. And so Harvey, I think he didn't even win. I think first place was actually Goma, which like rest in peace. That dude had a giant impact on my music career, and I actually owe him a lot. That was a difficult thing to grieve a couple years ago. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, not to down the mood or whatever.
Right.
But Ace Aura got second place in this contest, and him and Harvey went back and forth and just sort of like honed in the sound. It's like, wait, what if we made those kind of resonator patches you're using as fills, like the point and the purpose? And I think that unlocked a lot of different parts of different producers' brains and everything. And then Rushdown kind of became the home of color bass, I suppose. And it's gone through quite a few iterations. I mean, the label's been closed for a little bit, so
Right,
yeah. But
in its hiatus, but it does.
I think like you could argue that the influences that led to that point for Eric and Harvey have gone back years and years and years beyond that. But I really do attribute the Wait For Me remix contest as like the first point where color bass was like a conscious thing. I think, but I don't know.
It started
What
to
do you
kill
think,
the
Dan?
conscious.
I think
Yeah.
that's just like when the word came around, because like I mean it's like I feel like the word color base is like not too important as to just like defining the difference between like heavy dubstep and like what's standardized as like melodic dubstep. Like genres at the end of the day, bro, it's all labels. Like whatever an artist makes is the artist's sound. And I
Right.
think a lot of us too are like moving to that point now where it's no longer about like labeling yourself as like this artist or that artist, because it creates this weird like kind of it creates a community, but it also creates a clique in a way too, where you feel
Yeah.
like you're a part of something or you're a part of something else, and you can't really step into one or the other. But every artist has their sound, and I think the idea of having that music that sat in the middle between like what Elenium and Seven Lions do, the melodic chords, saw stack type of music,
Hmm.
and then the heavy dubstep excision route. Like there's always been that middle thing, and there's never been a way to define it. And then Harvey wanted to find a way to define it, which he did, I think, a really good job at. And then he brought together a bunch of artists that did that, and it was all coined under this term and under this record label, and it built a huge community. And I think since Rushdown like closed down, it's been just more of an opportunity for artists to like it started off as this thing where people could be invited through the sound, but I think people stuck to the sound. And now there's an opportunity for people to be like, okay, despite the fact that I may be a in quotes color-based artist, like there's still a million other avenues for me to explore and a million other artists for me to be inspired by. And everyone's kind of coming to their own conclusion of who they want to be and kind of how they want to be like represented, you know?
Precisely. I
Understood.
think that I think that the future of color base really lies in us all. I mean, I say us, that goes back to the clicky nature. It goes into people taking the techniques that have been coined through the creation of, the color-based sound that we created or whatever, from that sort of label that Harvey created a while ago to define the gap between, the Seven Lions music and the Excision stuff. I think the point now is to plant the seeds of which we've learned in all other different spaces and invent new genres or come towards very defined genres with like new takes and new aspects. And I've seen a lot of people online saying, "Oh, color bases, we know it is dead," but I don't think it can truly ever die because the seeds that we've planted, that we've created, that we've cultivated, can now be spread to a million different fields. I know, like, I mean, I don't want to spoil too much. I don't know when this is going up or if it's going up or anything, but I've been working in a lot of the kind of like UKG and drum and bass space because while there have been little flashes of, color-based techniques put in the genre just without my input or whatever, I feel like I can, knowing what I know, bring justice to these genres and make things that haven't been heard before and evoke certain feelings or emotions that wouldn't have been done if those genres stuck too closely to their tropes or color-based stuck too closely to its tropes. So I don't know.
Understood.
Word vomiting.
That's really
Again,
great.
like slowly getting into interview mode here.
Right. That's those are really amazing insights, and kind of tying back to something that Paper Sky said about how this like whole like scene of color base of Rushdown. It kind of like you guys mentioned before. You guys plant the seeds. You guys watered them, and then it just and it just like grew and grew and grew and bloomed into something so beautiful. Hate to throw the pun in there, and now like we have the whole whispers in the forest thing, like those whispers are spreading to so many other artists out there and like inspiring them. So the question I want to ask you, Paper Skies, is this: since you mentioned that you just kind of started that whole like spiel there, could you say that the seeds that you planted when you first started like in your whole production of Color Brace then grew into the magnum opus currently of Wireframe?
Fuck yeah. Yeah, bro. Like definitely, man. I mean, like I started writing that album because I was just sick and tired of feeling boxed in and feeling like I was creating a product and not like something that's like fun and something that actually fucking mattered to me, you know? Like I was getting real tired of just like cranking out song by song by song and then being stuck in that box of like, oh, I'm this style of artist or I'm supposed to make this genre. And Wireframe is very,
Tying back to the intro you said, like right before
yeah.
the trailer, what does it mean to be an artist?
Yeah, like I don't think the Wireframe project made me an artist. I think it was just me, the first step of me asking the question. Because when I look back at the Wireframe project, like, man, I love it because the conceptual stuff, I nailed that. Like I was able to tell the story I wanted to tell, but like Wireframe is from the point that album released all the way to the start of my career. It is to define everything that I was doing there. And that's why the album is so melodic and so rooted in that color-based sound and is so rooted in the rudimentary ideas that I like grew up with as a musician, right? But I mean, moving forward, like there's still a lot more to figure out if I'm going to answer that question, like what it means for me to be an artist, what it means for me to like define such like a broad term and hopefully inspire other people to do the same with their own work, right? To not feel like they need to be boxed into one particular thing, you know? Like making music is a really beautiful thing and there's an aspect to branding of you need to keep all your stuff the same, but there's something very freeing about being able to just think something and put it into the DAW, put it into music, and not question why you're doing it.
Understood. And needless to say, Wireframe is such a beautiful piece of art, beautiful piece of work that is more an honor to spread the word, show my energy for the songs, because it really does show the versatility of Paper Skies. You have something almost Rushdown-esque with the song Spirit Tell Me, but then we go into something like Listen/Learn, which absolutely turns it over your head and blew me away with almost the drum and bass
My
feel
G.
in there.
Yeah.
It's absolutely incredible to witness. And of course, I can never get enough of I Let Go with the songs of Danique and the Doe. Love that freaking vocalist. Absolutely
tune.
stole my heart. And of course, Free Falling with Nitrix. Nitrix, he has his place in the whole color-based thing. He worked with Ace Aura, worked with so many incredible people out there. AU5. So, Wireframe, something to remember, something to behold. One of my absolute favorites of the year of 2024 when it first came out. Absolutely freaking incredible work. And now tying back to you, Skybreak, regarding, planting the seeds, moving, slowly out of the whole color-based thing. Are there any pieces of works that you feel really helped you evolve? Because I feel like a few I could probably say that I hear the color-based S feelings in there, but then you took it and made it your own. I would say 2 songs in particular. That is You with Teminite with the song Accelerate, and then the song Cloudnone, Finally Free.
Or Feeling Free.
Feeling Free.
Feeling
Sorry,
Free.
my fault.
Of course.
I'm sorry, the chorus got me, okay? It said finally being free. I thought it was finally free, sorry. But
I think it's difficult to pinpoint one particular event or song that I wrote that broke me out of the box I had set myself into. I think part of it was making new experiences and exposing myself to new music, which is honestly why I got into color bass in the first place. Just again, it comes from exposure to dubstep and video game music and whatever. But I think a multitude of events. Writing Feeling Free with Cloudnone obviously was a very important moment to me. The way that Cloudnone focuses in on just doing what matters in each track was so antithetical of what I was doing at that point. I felt like I had a point to prove with every single song. I needed to add all of these layers. I needed to stand behind my community, and I needed to make this high quality, insane multi-layer art. But he literally will sit down, he'll be sits down at a piano, writes a little melody, and is how can we distill this track into its most pure form? That was his goal. It was not layering, it was not any of that. It was just, let's make very pure art. So that was a very important experience for me, and it helped me reflect on why am I really doing this. Going to Hamdi's set at Rampage Air 2023 was another really big moment for
Banger,
me.
bro. Banger.
It's one of my favorite sets ever. We almost didn't go. I was
I know.
nah, bro, I'm too tired. And it's I only know one of his tunes. But again, it's just such a different approach to production from me, but I felt so much love and joy from his set. It's all about the groove and the swing and creating this sort of vibe. And it really brought me back to the beginning of why do I listen to music? Is it because it's extremely well produced? Is it because it takes me to a world or whatever? Or is it because it's a life enhancer, And that was a really humbling experience. And then just over the past few years, I've grounded myself a lot more in reality. I grew up very chronically online, so now I've got a couple of friends in real life. So my goals have sort of shifted from impressing all the producers in my life and everything to more so, how can I make a song that I can show my sister or a partner or my mom or some random people on the street and have them understand me, understand what I'm feeling and what I've been building up to.
That could be a
yeah,
really
that's
that
become
could
the
be
new goal.
that could be a really good content idea.
Yeah.
Just pick a few songs that you believe you're proud of, go out to random strangers. I've seen this before a lot of times on IG and on TikTok, and it's you ask them what do they think of this song, and they give their honest opinion.
Yeah, I mean that could be good. I could stage it so they're oh,
I'd be more than happy. I'd be more than happy to be that camera guy for you.
Yeah, it's very possible. But anyway, I guess that's a sort of the stylistic shift in me, and there'll always be sound design flares in what I do because it's what I'm passionate about. I've been doing this for years. I have a workflow that incorporates a certain goofy level of sound design into it naturally, but it's hardly the point for me anymore. And I think as a result, I'm hoping I don't lose all my fans with the demo music. I don't think that's going to happen. If worse comes to worse, I'll just I don't know. But yeah, that will always be present in my work, but it's just more the priorities, I think, of what
Understood.
I'm doing in the future. And
Now,
I've never been as in love with creation, or I haven't been this in love with creation since like 2020. It's been literally 4 years since I've been this happy making music. So we'll see how that goes.
one of the acts was this though, since you asked the question already, Skybreak, regarding the whole why did you get into music, or why did you want to make music in the first place? What are the reasons? You mentioned was it the melodies, was it all that stuff? I'm bringing that back to Paper Skies. What made you want to start this journey of making this incredible music in the first place ever since 2016?
I mean, I think like I just I grew up always liking music. Growing up, my mom made my life very music focused, just like but actually a lot like more classical piano focused. Grew up listening to a lot of that. They bought me a piano when I was like 6, 7, maybe 8 years old. What's up, man?
Hey, there he is.
Okay.
Good looks, bro.
Are we good?
Good
Are
looks.
we good? I'm sorry. Continue.
Yeah.
Continue.
Nah, you're chilling. You're chilling. Yeah. So they got me a piano, and I started cooking. Started like writing songs on it, and they were buying me a lot of sheet music. I wasn't down for it. I just wanted to write songs, and I was going to like piano lessons. It was the same thing. I told my teacher, I said, I don't want to learn the theory. I don't want to learn this or that. I just want to write songs. And eventually discovered like electronic music. Then I discovered bass music. And then I watched that one infamous Virtual Riot live stream where he was making music on a laptop. And I was in the chat being really annoying, just being like, yo, how do I get started? How do I get started? How much does it cost? How much does it cost? Because I assumed you needed like some massive studio room, like the type of thing you'd see Kanye West in with a full mixer board. And I thought that was the bar to entry. And then he was like, no, like he finally answered my question at some point. He was like, yo, to the kid that just keeps putting the same thing in chat over and over again, like you can just get the demo of any software of like FL Studio or Ableton or Cubase or whatever ones you mentioned. I don't even remember. But I got FL Studio like 5 minutes later and then just started making music.
So thank you so much, Virtual Riot, for lighting the fire and opening your eyes. And with that, look at Paper Skies now. Look at him now.
That guy's the goat, bro.
Yeah,
That guy is
he's
the
the
goat.
goat.
If I may, so I'll ask this one as well. Since you guys mentioned Virtual Riot, like the first thing popped out of your mouth when you guys came back on it was because of Virtual Riot. Is there a song from Virtual Riot that inspired you guys to that really that you guys thought, oh my gosh, this song he made is one of the best songs that I ever made? That really got me oh my gosh, I want to learn sound design, I want to do all that stuff. It opened so many doors in your mind and heart. So it could be any song, and don't be afraid. Do not. It could be something underrated. It could be something popular. I don't care if it's 1-2. I don't care if it's Preset Junkies. I don't care if it's Evil Game Boy. There goes your money,
Bro.
Whatever.
I love your energy, man. I
love the
love
energy.
your energy all the time, dude. Yeah, I just want bro,
Thank
before
you.
moving on with anything, dude, happy birthday again.
Thank you so much again.
You're the GOAT. You're a born entertainer in the scene, and thank you for just always putting a smile on my face, man. It's good to see you again, bro.
Very welcome. Thank you so much again.
Yeah,
But anyway,
dude.
Virtual Riot's favorite song.
I'd say as a kid, every single song that came out, like as a kid, bro, every single track that come out one at a time was
Dude.
my favorite song every time, bro. And it
Bro,
was
you,
just
you know how Christians have, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit?
bro,
It was Father, Son, Virtual Riot for us.
dude, no.
That shit was
Bro,
religious.
Okay. Every track was dope. Every track was dope as it came out one by one by one. And I tried to learn what I can from it. I mean, the first song was that Lunar track. That's the one that got me to make the music, but I was listening to his music for a long time before that. And yeah, every track just inspired me. Every track made me want to try something different. Every track made me want to learn a new sound design trick, get back in the DAW, do something different until eventually I started falling in love with my music in the same way that I fell in love with listening to his and so many other great artists,
That's amazing. Thanks. Hey, multiple songs. I'll take that as an answer. Sky, favorite Virtual Riot song.
I mean, I can give a couple different answers. I've been following him for the same length as Dan. Like I said before, it was like a religious experience anytime he'd drop because it was so incredible every single time. I mean, that was my gateway into Disciple and all that stuff. I'd say Lunar again was like one of the earlier ones that I discovered from him that I really fell in love with. I'm just going through his discography to refresh my mind. Time Stops, utter tunage right there. The Chemistry EP, I have a really obviously Borg is like a classic and Juices is a classic, but I feel like I have a sentimental connection to that because, I'm I'm trying to figure out like how to explain this story, but I had to leave like a middle school prom a little bit early because I was having some like dumb mental health issues, and the chemistry EP had like dropped that day, so I just had my like crusty iPhone 6S or something, and I just like put it up to my ear and listened the first time, and I just walked like half an hour home, however long the length of the EP was, because it was like coincidentally like ended the second I got home. Yeah, 17 minute. It's a whole 17-minute walk in like the pouring rain, and I'm listening to this project, and I'm just like, this is so sick. So I feel like it's difficult for me to pick exactly one. I think, Lunar is obviously the first one that I got into, like really got into. The Emotional remix is also absolutely solid, and I've been enjoying his new album a lot recently as well. But
Mm.
I feel like just as a whole, his presence in the scene was more important than the individual tunes to me, if that makes sense. Just like this dude that's consistently dropping this incredibly produced like heat every single time that's like a little gamery, a little bit jazzy, um, and just is also simultaneously putting out these tutorials where every single one is just like blowing the minds of all producers. That's like that was a gargantuan run, and now he's shifted more into like the festival space, and he's slaying it there as well. I feel like my favorite tune from him in years is Nights on Fire 2024. That song's
Mm.
gonna be on my Spotify Wrapped this year. I have listened to it like 800 times. It's just like it brings me right back to where I was back then with like a modern production quality, but it's like I was saying before, it's that kind of life enhancer. It's like you'd be hard pressed to find a situation that isn't improved by that song playing, you know? It's
Wow.
like I can listen to it in the car, I can listen to it on my speakers and enjoy it. I can listen to it around friends. I bet if he dropped it live, I mean, it's one of the types of tunes that you'd have to know for it to really impact you. But when I go to my next Virtual Riot show and I hear Nights on Fire 2024, I'm popping off. I'm losing it. I'm saying right now. So
Well, I mean, let's
yeah,
be honest. Any song from Virtual Riot, you can listen to it anywhere. When you have it on your phone, you can go anywhere. You can listen to like anywhere, everywhere you go. In the car, at the park, in the bath, or on the toilet. Wherever you want to go. It doesn't matter. Virtual Riot is for everyone. They're rated E for everyone. It would be wrong if I didn't answer my question as well. What my favorite Virtual Riot song is, which is a very tough question. But I feel like the song that made me fall in love with him was Evil Game Boy. 2013, Mark's Cat Disciple came together. There Goes Your Money. That blew me away because I've never thought that you could use video game as sounds and like mix it in that way. And that was like 2013, like one of his first ever early works. And it
I think
blew
that's
me
the
the
first song I heard too. I'm pretty sure I heard that was the first virtual track I heard when I was like 12.
first one I heard.
yeah.
Then of course it led into So Baked and Sugar Rush, those type of songs too. Those were pretty incredible too. But I feel like modern day, what really blew me the freak away, had to be. It's hard to say because my song choice comes from the Simulation album when it first came out, and I feel like you know what? I can't even saying this. It has to be Fork Funeral. Fork Funeral blew me the freak away. Not only because it was such a like a twist from what I thought Virtual Riot could do, doing house, like almost like a house type of feel, but it just goes so hard, and I would love to just see the crowd just bouncing when it got to that second drop because it was just a roller coaster of house that no one really thought of, and it's to the point where I could literally imitate every single sound, every single sample from like verbatim if I wanted to, because it's just that
Hell
cool,
yeah,
it's
bro.
just that catchy. So I would say yeah, Fork Funeral definitely one of my biggest contenders, like my favorite songs from Virtual Riot. Next, what I'll say is maybe So Sorry and Tuhu Rhythm. There I go.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
bro.
But
Simulation
now
has some tunes.
the one thing I really want to highlight quickly is that though I want to highlight a certain song from Skybreak that I feel like is possibly one of the most underrated bangers I have ever heard. This one
Mm.
came from the EP that absolutely blew me the freak away. That was your I don't know, the Unity EP.
Oh
And I
yeah.
know that everyone loves like Satellite. That's like a banger. No one can get enough of it. You saw how I acted on stage when Satellite came on. My apologies for
Yep.
that type of behavior.
No,
But
no.
This guy,
All
bro.
good. All good, bro. Dude, I love the energy.
thank you. But people could say maybe Satellite. People could say our moving picture. Maybe the song with E Halls. That's also amazing. Went Into the Lights. But no, the song I would love to hear live that blew me the freak away, that stole my heart, had to be you and Modus Visionary with Miss Lena. I don't care what anyone says, it's the longest song in the EP, but it's 6 minutes of pure bliss, pure freaking just awesomeness roll up into one.
Thank you, man.
Each section is just intricated so perfectly. You don't know what to expect until you get to the very end. It's just something I can rock out to, something I can sleep to, and I can just get transported into the world that I'm seeing within the Unity EP. It's a perfect finisher, and more and more people, I believe, needs to hear it live. So I'm hoping, if it's possible, if Skybreak plays live again at NYC, I want people to let that be a finisher song in the end, because it's 6 minutes. You can easily, take out your USB and then move on to the next artist. But I don't want to understand how beautiful everything was regarding you and Modus. You guys absolutely made pure magic out of it. From the piano solos to the drops in there, including the switch up drop towards the end. That's one of my absolute favorite parts of the song. I just need more people to hear Visionary. That's the main thing. I need people to understand.
No, it's awesome. Yeah, I don't play that one out very often. I probably should, to be honest. I kind of for a while would just play exclusively 150 in my sets, and obviously now my sets are a lot more of like a multi-genre experience. I haven't thought about that one yet, because typically I like to play tunes in my set that like the most people in the crowd are gonna know. But I'll take that into account. That was a fun one to work on. I really love songs. I mean, I feel like it's difficult to pull off a 6-minute long song and keep it engaging the whole time. But another example of a song that came out this year, or last year, I suppose, because 2025. An example of a song that came out last year that was 6 minutes and I felt doesn't feel like 6 minutes is Russian Roulette by Porter. And if your sections are diverse enough, you can get away with a longer song that feels shorter. So yeah, that was a fun thing to do with Modus and Miss Lena. I've been meaning to write another tune with Modus for a little while. I know he just finished off his like big orchestral cinematic Do Your Protocol thing, so he might have more time. But yeah, I'm glad you dig that one. I like it as well. I haven't thought about it in a while though, because usually I don't spin it. I love this. I think the Similar Outskirts remix is better though. Like
yeah, Similar Outskirts. He's doing. It's really amazing. He's also another incredible producer. Big fan of Taking Control. It's one of my absolute favorites from him in his discography. But yeah, Similar Outskirts. He did his thing with Visionary. But maybe, forgive me, call me a person who's like, no, I'm stuck on the original. But yeah. It's the original that kind of really just stole my heart, okay? My apologies, Similar Outskirts.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, honestly, you can't be super objective when it's your own work. I feel like when I know exactly what it's okay. This is gonna sound. I'm trying to go back and say this like philosophically. When you write your own music, you simultaneously know every in and out and like every single detail, including like little render pops that might stick out or things that you didn't intend to have in the track that you've now, progressed enough in your musical journey that you would know how to fix if you're going back into the project and you could re-release it. So my tunes all have like a sort of stank to me. It's hard to explain, but yeah, that's a particularly good one. I'm gonna listen to that. I'm gonna give Visionary a bump. I feel like it's been long enough that I can listen objectively now. So thanks for the reminder.
If you want to listen to like privately, or you need a cheerleader like me to be on the side and tell you why this part is so crazy,
tell me why my music's good. I need the praise.
I'd be more than happy to give Visionary all the glaze. But now the Paper Skies, I don't know if you played this song like live or anywhere, because I barely ever do see you live. I don't think I've ever seen a Paper Skies live set at all. But please, pretty please, with the cherry on top, let me hear Flowstate live. That's the song that like really blew me the freak away when it was first released on Rushdown on like I think New Colors in Volume 5, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Either that or Operator, because Solid Cosmic Quarries needs more love. Because that also surprised me, oh my gosh, to the moon, man. Either Flowstate or Operator, those are two of my favorite songs that like absolutely blew me the freak away when I first heard them. I just had to put it out there. But since we're kind of running low on time, I only have 40 minutes on here. I only have 2 minutes left. Quickly, what's next for Skybreak? What's next for Paper Skies? Go.
Go. Do you want to go first?
You hit it.
All right. I mean, I don't want to spoil too much about it because we're still doing things. But last year, like I was saying, I took a big kind of shift in how I approach music production, and I've been working on a bit of a larger project I'm not really going to go into much more detail than that, but I picked up filmmaking and a couple of other life skills to make this a bit more of an ambitious project than usual, and I kind of set myself like a very specific palette of vocalists and art styles that I wanted to work with it. And it started off as just like a fun thing where it's like, let's pivot off in a different direction, but it's become one of my more personal works that I've worked a lot harder on. So you have that to look forward to this year, as well as a couple more singles with Monster Cat, which will be
Oh
fun.
yes, and I'm currently
Um,
on my little annual like Monster Cat celebration. I'm celebrating all the 5-year and 10-year songs. I chose 5-year and 10 years because 2020 was the year I was like knee deep into Monster Cat. I was like in the deep end of Monster Cat. I was like addicted to it at the time. 2015, if you hear like in I think Call of the Wild number 383 when it was my birthday on that year.
hey,
It was Dan who said, like, I joined in around 2015, 2014 with the song Nitro Fun, Safe and Sound, and that was the year I started, like, really understanding what Monster Cat was and like, really getting into it. So I'm giving love to 2 eras of my life where Monster Cat was first introduced to me, and when Monster Cat I was, like, knee-deep into it. I was eating, sleeping, breathing, and, like, devouring Monster Cat left, right, and center.
awesome, yeah. No, they're definitely the label that got me into it as well. So it's always a full circle moment and an honor to be putting stuff out with them. It's cool.
Thank you,
Dan,
man.
Jack, thank you guys so freaking much for your time. Thanks so much for the little birthday talk. I'm honored and blessed, like, catch up with you guys and hear what was already done and what is to come with both of you guys. 2 incredible, amazing producers who are literally leaving their mark in the EDM industry, on the EDM community. And I have nothing but just gratitude for the both of you, just saying thank you, thank you, thank you so much for all that you do. It's an absolute honor to be a fan of your work. I'm just honored and blessed to have known people like you.
Well,
Thanks,
dude,
man. Means
thanks
a
for
lot.
having
I
us,
love the
bro.
energy, man.
I
Yeah,
mean,
this was
happy
great.
birthday. I hope you have like just the best rest of your day.
Dude,
Thank
yeah, I
you.
hope your birthday smacks.
It will definitely. I have to go out to get a bit of like birthday dinner with my father. That's gonna be incredible. So
Dope,
Yeah.
man.
gotta get ready for that.
What's
Thank
the,
you guys
what's the
so
Awesome,
much
bro.
Marv?
again.
What's the Marv tonight? What are you eating?
I don't know what I'm eating. Might be steak, might be cheesecake. I don't
Surprise.
know,
Let's see.
but it'll be a surprise. Thank you guys so much again. Love you guys so much.
No worries, bro.
All right.
Peace, man.
Peace out,
Have a
bro.
good one. Okay?